People who have played through Mass Effect 3 understand the frustrations that have come with the game since its release on March 6th. The ending, quite simply put, is atrocious, and without spoiling anything, it basically resolves nothing and asks so many more questions that have no answer to them and have no logical explanation. So at E3, we expected a lot more at EA's press conference. When BioWare came out, we thought, okay, maybe we'll finally get an exact date on at least the extended cut video that we're supposed to get. Instead, they simply talked about Star Wars The Old Republic and left. Did not even mention a peep about it. The only bit of information we got about Mass Effect 3 the entire E3 was that it was possibly coming to the Wii U. Are you kidding me? That is all you have to say? For 3 months now, we have been sitting there wondering what the hell happened with this ending. None of it makes sense. And 3 months later, we don't even have a date for this video yet. We don't even have any single player DLC, not even missions, not weapons, not extra costumes, nothing. Not one piece of DLC that isn't counting the multiplayer and the From Ashes first day DLC. 3 months. The first game had an exception. It had 5 months between its first DLC, which was Bring Down the Sky. But in Mass Effect 2, it took only 3 months, hell, just under 3 months for the Firewalker pack, which was the first bunch of missions. It has now been more than 3 months. We don't even have a date for any single-player DLC. Not even the video. We don't have any missions that we even know are coming. Not even party members. The game came with only 6. Mass Effect 2 with all the DLC has double that, and even more before even the DLC is added. This is the last game of the series, or at least what's supposed to be, and we have nothing. Not a damn thing. Part of me even wonders if we're going to get the DLC now. Hell, you know what? I think that what we're going to get is we're going to get, at some point one or another, instead of DLC announcements, we're going to get this video and nothing else, and the video will simply say at the end, Mass Effect 4, the journey continues. Not all of us are that stupid. We know how much money this series has made. We know how popular it is. Hell, with the controversy that this ending gave, Look at what's happened. Look at the just massive outbreak of audience that went nuts at this. EA and BioWare both know that they have a massive franchise on their hands. Why would they end it now? Even though they promised that this was it. Shepard's last game was this game. It's ironic that after saying a statement like that it's clearly obvious that this story is not over. The game ends by saying, tell me another story about the Shepherd, and it doesn't say what story. So how much do you want to bet that there is another story on the way? I don't blame BioWare for it. I don't blame EA for it. EA has been a money-grabbing whore their entire lives, so what would stop them now? BioWare, even the same thing. You know what? I love the Mass Effect series. I would love to play a 4th game. But at some point, you can only go with Shepard for so long. Metal Gear is not going to keep going with Solid Snake. We already know the next game is going to be for Raiden. You can't milk a character. You can milk a franchise, but you can't milk a character. Tomb Raider learned that the hard way, and thankfully, now that Square Enix has grabbed a hold of it, it's being revitalized to what it should be. But in the case of Commander Shepard, unfortunately, it's just not enough. He or she is just not enough to be able to keep going for, I don't know, 10 games, who knows? I would love nothing more than to see Mass Effect 13 at some point, because I love this series. What I don't love is the fact that it is now June and we have no information put in front of us, not a single piece. I even wonder if this piece of video footage is even going to reveal anything. I almost feel like to expect that it's just going to be more and more unresolved questions and adding more onto it. Because there are still simple things in the Mass Effect 3 ending that just do not make sense. And again, I'm not going to spoil that, but people who have played through the ending, you know exactly the certain questions that we're asking about. And even if you want to talk about the indoctrination theory that goes around, there are a lot of unanswered questions. And 3 months later, we still don't have an answer to anything. We don't even have it. And like I said, we don't have an answer to when we're going to get to see this. It's bad enough that BioWare has already disappointed a bunch of fans with Dragon Age 2. I like the game, but a lot of people didn't. The fact of the matter is BioWare is slowly withering away the reputation that it's gained from the Dragon Age series, from Mass Effect, and it's going to keep going if they keep this up. I don't know if it's them, if it's EA because they're pushing the strings. Who knows? But at the end of the day, they need to smarten up, and they really, really need to listen to their fan base. It sounds like they have, and I still have reason to believe that they are going to reveal everything. There have been Twitter posts by members of their team that are trying so hard to keep everything spoiler free, especially right after that ending, right after the release. But considering it's been 3 months, I don't feel like this is going to be a punked kind of thing anymore. I feel like we're literally being dragged along with by a leash for this rocky, rocky ride. So unfortunately, until we get a date on even on this video, who knows? I've had my collector's edition sitting on the shelf now for 2 months. At least 2 months. And it is infuriating and insulting that I haven't been able to put that disc back in yet. BioWare, get your shit together, give us a date, and start making some DLC. You know what? If you had gone through with your promises by saying the ending would not be an A, B, or C ending, or any of the other promises that you made, you wouldn't be in this situation. I don't know if you did this on purpose or completely by accident, but regardless of the fact, you need to fix it and fix it soon. Because I'm afraid if we go the entire summer not knowing what the hell's going to happen, you may have lost a franchise that's going to make you millions of dollars.